Welcome to Espiritu Coffee Chats, the podcast where we blend wellness, spirituality, and business to help you live with intention and balance.
We're your hosts, Valerie and Arlene, two Latina entrepreneurs here to guide and grow with you. Welcome back to Espiritu Coffee Chats. I'm super excited because today we have someone very special joining us. So I'm going to start out and then you guys will see Arlene hop in, hear Arlene hop in later. So today we're working with another local biz bestie who helps women not only market themselves through video, rather to show up as their most true, authentic selves. So today we have Dalia Van Loom. Welcome, Dalia.
Hi. Thank you. I'm so excited to do this and talk about content and marketing, business, being a Latina, all of those things.
But Dalia, I would love to get an introduction from your perspective on who you are. Like if we're out in the world and someone randomly sits next to you at a coffee shop, how would you introduce yourself and what would you say to them?
Great question. I would say, hi, my name's Dalia. I am a joy fairy and a content fairy. I love spreading joy and I love connecting people. The community is huge for me. And I also love creating content because I'm very creative and I love showcasing people or things, but most of it's people, because there's something specific about showcasing someone in their best selves and their best way, because I see it and sometimes they don't see it, and when they see the video they're like, whoa, I look really good, or, oh my god, you made me look that way. And yes, I'm creative and I'm good at this, but I didn't change anything about them. I just know how to capture that essence and showcase that vibe, and that inspires people, and I love that.
Nice. So for those that are not familiar with your story, how did you get into this world of content creation and seeing people? What was it that drew you in there?
So I, for the longest time, I always being an entrepreneur at heart. I had a lot of product ventures.
Okay.
And one of them was making homemade Peruvian tamales that were vegan, by the way.
Whoa.
So I veganized the recipe that my uncles and aunties had. I kind of put it all together and it was delicious and it was growing, but I love cooking, just not 24/7.
Yep.
So I realized that wasn't it. And then one of my best friends, she's a photographer and a business coach, and she kept telling me, you would do great offering a service instead of a product. And I just couldn't think of what the service could be. And when Reels came out in 2020 or 2021, right? She asked me, hey, I know that you're really good. You're creative. You're good with video and photos. I need someone to come in and get quick videos of my business owners that come in for my photo shoots, and just do video clips, like quick video clips for this new thing that's called Reels, because I feel like everybody's going to need it. So that was my guidance. That's what I got. Okay. And I was like, okay, I always being a yes girl. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's try it. So I showed up. There were 10 business owners that day at that house. And I've always been very personable, and I've always been very like bubbly, outgoing, welcoming. I have a personality that people can relate to very easily, and I'm a chameleon. I can start talking about whatever. I can chime in and make you feel like you know me forever. That's my superpower. And so that's what I did that day. And everybody was like, oh my God, those were great videos. And they all loved it. And I realized I can do this more often. I really like it, because in here, I'm actually using a bunch of my skills that I love that I don't get to use. And it just made sense. And little by little, I just kept working with different business owners, word of mouth, and that's how it started.
Amazing. And so specifically your content creation is for visionary women or visionary entrepreneurs?
Visionary women entrepreneurs, women in business in general, service providers, but I tend to attract a lot of coaches and a lot of spiritual guides, people in business who also do events or workshops, because I also come in and film for that as well. I'm really good capturing the vibe of an event. So I get a lot of inquiries from women who are coaches a lot.
Okay.
But it could be all different kinds of coaching, which is interesting because then I learn a lot of different things. I worked with business coaches, mindset coaches, spiritual leaders, love coaches, like all kinds of different people that lead other people.
Okay.
And I think that's the type of women that I love working with the most. And that's why I say visionary women entrepreneurs, because they're people who have a specific vision for where they want to go, and they're leaders in their expertise, like in their area of expertise.
So what was it? Because visionary is very intentional, right? Say that I want to attract clients who are visionary women. That is such a very strong and profound kind of label, I think, for a woman. So what was it that drew you into that? Was there something that you saw in yourself that you were like, this is my client because this is who I am? How did you get to, from wherever you started in the beginning to in the end, to be like, in my most clear, aligned self as a business owner, I want to work with visionary women?
It's because visionary, the word visionary makes, it's a person who wants more than just have a business, if that makes sense. It's a person that is looking ahead. It's a person that's always learning. It's a person that appreciates support, that is delegating already. They don't stop at anything. They just keep going and they figure it out. And I'm like that. So I want to work with people that are also like that. And even people that are at the next level of where I want to be as well, because I get inspired by that too. Because I see it happening around me and I'm like, oh, it's possible for me too. Look, it's happening for her. And I'm working with her. Like, but when it happened for me. So that's why I decided to pick that word, because it really encompasses a lot of the specific person that I'm trying to go for and that I'm trying to call towards me. Because what I do is not just a service to make money. Yes, it makes money, right? But I do it because it's part of my mission. I always say my purpose in this world is to spread joy and connect with people and help other people connect. And with the video content, I help them connect with their people. And then a lot of times I help them connect topics of parts of their life and connect it into their content. And my head just works that way. So that's how I see it. The word visionary just encompasses all of that, because it's not just a person that is just here to do one thing. It's a person that wants more, that wants to build, that's a leader, that is looking ahead.
It's amazing. One thing that I am drawn to also about you, because I see you out in the real world and you bring so much light and joy anywhere you go. And I know that in the past, you've kind of shared how a little bit of your upbringing has played out into what you do for other visionary women. Can you share a little bit about that and like how you bring in your Latina self into your business and how you work with others?
Yeah, of course. My family. So I'm from Peru originally. I was born and raised in Peru. I moved to the States when I was 18, turning 19. And back in Peru, my family is we do everything together. It's a very tight community. It was my first community I was ever part of. And ever since, I've been looking for tight communities like that, always. And if I didn't find it, I will make it. I always love being in community. And it was because of that. So my family in Peru, they're from the highlands, from a place called Chachapoyas. And they are all in the city now. But they brought all of the values that you get from living in a small town into the city. And funny enough, all of them live really close, like within 10 minutes walking distance, because they all really appreciate getting together and having that community. It's like a big part of everyone's lives in my family. And I'm talking about 60 people basically, because my grandma and my grandpa on my mom's side had 11 kids, and they all have kids, and their kids have kids, right? And then on my dad's side, my dad has 6 siblings, so there's 7 of them. So there's a lot of family, and that helped me speak out, and then also helped me grow in my own confidence, because when there's so many personalities that you have to deal with, you kind of learn how to talk to people once, and then also you learn how to make yourself stand out because you want to be heard. There's so many people and you want their time, right? Yeah. You need to be loud or have a personality that sparks or do something specific. You got to figure out how you're going to stand out. So I think from a very early age, I had to play with that just to stand out in my family. And with my family is being loud. You just got to be louder than the other person. And interrupt constantly. I grew up thinking that interrupting was a normal thing.
Yeah.
And when I came to the States and I started making friends here, I realized that wasn't a normal thing. That was just how my family thinks.
I think it's a big Latino thing in general. And Mexican culture is the same. It's like, I need you to listen, so I'm just going to go a higher octave.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But that helped me a lot to learn that. And it also helped me to learn that you have to try a lot of times on things to get good at it. And that when you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You just try again. You got to figure it out. You will always figure it out. That's something I learned from my family as well, because they come from really early, low beginnings, humble beginnings, right? My grandma and my grandpa rode donkeys to go from one town to the other. My mom even did it too. Like when she had to go see her grandpa who lived in a town that was close to their town, they will send them in donkeys by themselves.
Okay.
For a couple hours, and the donkey just knew where to go. And then my grandpa or their grandpa will wait for them at the entrance of the other town. Wow. How crazy is that, right? Wow. So it's all, and my grandma and grandpa were teachers. So I'm talking about 11 kids growing on 2 teacher salaries. So it's, if they figured it out, I can figure it out. That's what I always think. Everything's figureable. And also because a lot of my uncles are engineers, uncles and aunties too, because they had to figure out a lot of things on their own. And I think they went into engineering because it kind of helped them also in real life.
Yeah, the tinkering.
Yeah. So I grew up always seeing uncles and aunties like fixing things, building things, taking things apart and putting it back together. So for me, that was just such a normal thing of, oh, if it doesn't work this way, there's got to be another way. You don't give up. I learned that from my family early on as well. Yeah, there's so much stuff that I get from them.
That's beautiful. There's so many little golden nuggets in there for our listeners to take away from. One, I want to bring it back a little bit to the content creation side. In working with visionary women, I think especially working with Latinas, we have this culture of calladita se ve más bonita. You're prettier when you're quiet.
Like not in my family.
Which I love. I think definitely the expression, the passion, it's just something culturally that gets misconstrued in the American culture.
Oh yeah. In my family, there's more women than men too.
See, like all the reasons we need a matriarchy.
Yeah, definitely.
But for working with visionary women who are, and maybe you don't see this, but working with women who have all their lives been conditioned to shrink themselves or to quiet their voice and have that fear of showing up on camera, how do you help women move through that? Like, because you help bring them to their most authentic selves online to attract their aligned clients. So walk me through what that process is like for you with your clients.
The first thing is mindset, honestly. I can give you all the systems and all the tools, but if you're in your own mindset, you're tiny, you're always going to be tiny. The first thing is believe in it. Believe in your own amazingness, your own expertise, because we're all amazingly unique in a specific way. And that's what people are attracted to. And the sooner that you own that, the sooner you'll see people being attracted to you.
Yeah.
It's the most underrated thing.
For sure.
But it took a long time for me to be really confident in who I am. And it started by feeding it to myself until I believed it. At first, I didn't. I will tell myself all of these things that I wanted to be. And I will look at myself in the mirror and I will be like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're talented. And I didn't believe it back then. Growing up, I was a tomboy. I didn't feel beautiful at all. Like I was always the tallest girl. So the guys my age weren't interested in me.
Yeah.
They were interested in the shorter girls, like Arlene. You too.
We're both petite.
And I was always the best friend, the person that will help them with their friends, their girlfriends. And so when I moved to the States is when I first started getting compliments and being called exotic and beautiful. And I couldn't believe it because I was like, what do you mean? Nobody saw that over there. Like, how come you see it? And I started realizing it's all about how you think people see you. But if you decide how you want people to see you and you put that out there, that's how people are going to see you. You just got to believe it, though. You just got to feed it to yourself over and over again until it actually, you believe it now.
Yeah.
I know it sounds simple, but it's not simple because it's repetition, consistency. It's the game for it. And for that, putting that into content creation, it's a matter of getting used to being in front of the camera and getting yourself used to talking about what you do and who you are in front of the camera. Because it's funny. A lot of times I see clients like telling me everything that they know, and then you put the camera in front of them and it's like, whoop, I don't remember anything now. You were just telling me everything. If I could just hide a camera somewhere and you would know, like, I have great footage right now, right? Because you know it already. You know all of it. And I think the main part also is to believe that people need to hear your message. And for that, what I had to do for myself and what I do with clients too is I need to sell this because people need to buy into this. Because that makes it feel like salesy. It makes it feel like forced, right? But if you think about it more as a mission that you're here in this world to do, you're using your skills for this mission that you're using to help people, then it's not selling. And it's your responsibility to actually spread the message because you can help them.
Yeah.
If anything, it's rude of you to not say anything when you have all this golden nuggets, all this expertise, and now you're just keeping it to yourself. That's kind of rude.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm actually, before we dive in a little bit deeper, because I do want to touch more on the visibility and being seen for your clients and stuff, but I also want to bring Arlene onto the podcast. So we're going to take a quick pause and then we'll switch hosts.
Okay. Yay.
Why, hello, Dahlia. I'm excited to connect with you.
Same.
I feel like because I've worked with you intimately, like you have done a few of my retreats and events. And yeah, it's just an honor to have you on the podcast because you are somebody who I was actually talking to my husband about you. I was telling him about the summer solstice retreat and how you were going to film the content for it. And I was like, yeah, but she's just so amazing. She actually adds to the retreat because part of when you're hosting a retreat or any event, the people that you're bringing in, they bring their own energy too. And I've learned this lesson in the earlier years when I was hosting retreats was like literally like one person that's going to be there, even if they're like not an active like facilitator or anything, like their energy is still there and people could feel it. It's like the chef who's all grouchy, right? You're like, I don't want to eat that chef's food. Like, their energy's in my plate. So
yeah,
like,
true.
Like you just being the content fairy, it's like you get people to come out of their comfort zone, even at events. Cause it's like, it's a lot for a person sometimes to show up to an event and then have this like camera in their face. And then they probably did sign a waiver saying it's okay to be on social media, but then they're like, oh, I didn't realize like I was going to feel like this. But going back to the women that you were talking about with Valerie and like the spiritual women and the different entrepreneurs and just the diverse women that you serve. And I'm sure you serve men too, but I'm assuming you get a lot more women.
Yeah, I haven't worked with a male in a long time, like 3 years maybe.
Yeah.
I just keep getting inquiries by women, and I love working with women.
Yeah.
I haven't said no to men, but I just get a lot of inquiries by women. And so that's where I'm going in. The universe is sending me all these amazing women. So I'm going full in.
Yeah. I think because on social media, you are very much have like posts about empowering women and celebrating being a woman and things like that. And then all the events that you do shoot are
It's very intentional.
all about women.
It's intentional on my marketing. And it is bringing me all the amazing women. And the events that I pick to do is very intentional too, because I know that a lot of business women are going to be at these events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even do male female networking anymore. I just do all women networking because I've tried it and it's okay, but
Yeah.
I feel like energetics are so different when it's just a group full of women.
Yep. I feel you on that.
The way that we think is just so different. I'm not knocking anybody down, but you gotta go where your energy plugs in the best, right? And you were talking about my energy is the one thing that I get the most compliments on, because I have this very bright energy that is very contagious. And I've been told that it inspires people, it sparks their creativity, it makes them feel confident and comfortable. And I get all of this with women. If I am uplifting women and my energy is doing the most amazing circles with women, then I'd rather just stay in there.
You are following, because I do know your human design chart, you're a manifesting generator. And the more manifesting generator is in that desire, satisfaction, creative flow state, the more your aura becomes more magnetizing. And that's like the cool thing about being a manifesting generator. Whereas a projector, I don't have that. I have to wait for the invitation. But again, being a projector, I'm going to be drawn to you because I'm going to feel your energy so much, like 10 times more than, let's say, a generator or manifesting generator, because your aura is going to glue me to you, which is what happened. So
that's how we started.
Yeah, that's how we started. And then that alone has its own chemistry, right? So one of the things also that I like working with you and collaborating and things like that is there's been a couple times at the retreats or even the workshops or events or things that we've done together where you'll just intuitively know, oh, this is deep, camera's not here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna film this, right? Where because you're somebody that I've only worked with like content filming and stuff, I don't know if most people would think that way. Like, I'm just gonna throw a man out there. I don't know if a man would be like, he might, because they're like, oh, I'm gonna do my job. I need to feel the whole event, right? Let me just film this person even though they're breaking down. I don't know how natural that is for people. And it's not even like a big cathartic thing, but I think you just know, hey, there's a time and space for intimacy that doesn't need to be on social media. And also probably reading the energy of that person.
Yes, I'm really good at that, at reading energies is what I've noticed. And then also I work, like from the beginning I enter the room, I'm already working on getting everybody comfortable from the beginning. So you see my smile, I introduce myself, I joke a little bit, I ask questions about them to kind of get to know them a little more. So then people already feel comfortable. So when I pull the camera, they already are like, oh no, this is what she's doing. She's cool. She's nice. Yeah, she's sweet. So they already feel this good vibe with the camera instead of me just immediately being like, here's the camera on your face and I didn't even say anything to you. That's, in my opinion, that's a lot for someone to take on. That's not ready, usually not someone that's not accustomed to the camera.
That makes sense.
So I work making people feel comfortable from the beginning. And then, there are parts that don't need to be recorded.
Yeah.
Because there are parts, mostly at spiritual events, there are parts where people are going through very intense feelings, and that doesn't need to be on camera because that's private. And I know exactly what those moments are. So I just step away and I try to, whenever I'm documenting, I always try to be like a fly on the wall until I start asking for testimonials.
Yeah, she's really good at that too, which you always remind me, that's the cool thing too. It's like, it's hard when you're the one who's running the whole event and then oh yeah, I need to do this, but then you forget you're running the whole event. So it's nice that you've always been that extra person to see, oh, but I'm here to really support and uplift this person in this event, and what's the best way that I can use this content to really uplift them.
Yeah.
And so then nothing like, because testimonies are important, especially because now like AI and like you never know what was written and who really said it. But when you have video of somebody like sharing their experience and sharing you could just see the relationship on the camera, right?
And then it also has to do with the questions I ask.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
The whole time I'm recording a testimonial, you better believe I'm smiling at this person and shaking my head like up and down and being like, yes, you're doing great. Yeah. Oh, exactly. It's almost like when they're saying something, I'm reacting to it, but silently. So they feel like they're talking to someone and not just staring at a camera.
Yeah.
So that's another way that I'm keeping their energy positive, and that on the video, because they're a little more like comfortable and a little more happy and positive because I'm irradiating this energy of positivity and hey, everything's cool. You're just talking to me. You're not talking to the camera. You're just talking to me.
Yeah. I'm just
So
here.
yeah.
When it comes to, so once you get and you work with business, specifically women, chingonas, right?
Yeah.
Top business leaders.
Yeah.
And have you ever worked with somebody? Because I know I can be shy too. I'm like also, when it comes to the camera, I can crawl in a little bit. But once you poke me enough, then I'm like, okay, I'm back. How do you transition them from, okay, they're shy, and then all of a sudden now you see them crack open a little bit and now their full self has arrived?
Yeah.
Like, how does that unfold for you?
Yeah. Usually at first, I make them feel very comfortable. Also, beforehand, I try to make sure that I tell the person, hey, make sure that you're wearing your brand colors, that you're wearing something that you're confident in. If you do your makeup, if you never do makeup and that's how you feel comfortable, don't add extra.
Right.
Because that's going to make you feel weird. And that's the first thing. And then when they're actually on camera, I think the hardest thing for people is like, where do I put my hands? Like, what do I do with my hands? If they're talking to the camera, they're for some reason, it's the main thing that people get stuck in. Like,
Interesting.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah. Or if I'm recording them and not recording audio, I'm just recording more of branding reels, so showcasing what they do. They want to know what to do. So a lot of times they're like, I don't know what you want to get. So I will specifically tell people, okay, you're going to grab this thing and I'm going to come from this way. And then when I get close to you, you're going to lift it and you're going to put it in front of the camera. And so I give all of the directions ahead of time so then they feel a little more comfortable. And then for the talking reels, I would usually, with the hands, right? You want to talk with your hands because that's what keeps people engaged. But a lot of people don't even know how to talk with their hands. Yeah. So that's when I tell them, just hold something. Hold a prop that's weird. Like if you're a photographer, don't hold your camera. Hold, I don't know, a fan. Hold a water bottle that looks different. You holding the thing. Yeah, even a coffee mug. Even better if it's a coffee mug that has your brand on it or has some words that are on brand. Because you holding something, even if you're just passing it from side to side and you don't end up doing anything with it, the fact that you're holding it, it makes us think, is she going to do something with that? Like, why is she holding that? So it keeps us watching. It retains, right? And that's what we want. We want people to be engaged. Right. So us just moving it from hand to hand if you don't know what to do with your hands. And then also, I always make my clients laugh before they start talking on camera. And I always do the SpongeBob laugh because that one always makes people laugh. Yes, it always does because it's so ridiculous. Yeah, funny. It always makes people laugh. And then people are just, when you laugh, you're like so much more relaxed, right? And if you're talking with your hands, then there's no energy that's stuck in you. Because usually when you're nervous, there's energy stuck and it makes you look rigid. But if you're moving your hands or if you're holding something, moving from side to side, then it's releasing that energy that's making you feel stuck and rigid. So you're looking a little more comfortable. There's a lot of tips and tricks for this, but the main thing is preparing yourself to be seen, which is the mindset part, and stepping into that identity. And for stepping into the identity, what helps a lot is getting on an outfit that looks really cute on you and it's in your brand color, so it's aligned. It could be doing something really nice for yourself the night before so you feel like in a really good mood, or even have something to look forward the day after, like after you're about to do the
like
session,
a little reward.
like a little reward. So it's just a lot of it is tricking yourself and stepping into this identity, because back to what I was telling Valerie, like people need to hear your message, and you just gotta deeply believe that. And so as long as you start working on deeply believing that what you have is important and it's people are looking for it and they need it, they like need it. So the more that you believe that, then the easier it is to show up on camera and do reels and do all kinds of content creation consistently, because these people need you.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, they don't know what you have. They don't know what you have to offer.
Yeah.
And you just don't make any money.
Or impact.
Or you don't make any. Yeah. You don't
You
make
also
whatever you're
don't
actually
impact.
like trying to do with your business.
Yeah.
Not everything. I was joking about the money part.
Yeah.
But and there are some businesses that just want to make money, right?
Yeah.
But there's other businesses like mine where I would like to create an impact and a ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
So it's
and
like,
building, like creating a movement too. So that's a huge, important, very important part. If anything, if you don't have that yet, that's the first thing that you need to work on.
one of the other things that I was thinking about was like when we did our content, or when I've seen you do other people's, like the behind the scenes and stuff. And I'm like, you'll bring the props, right?
Yeah.
And the props say a whole lot about somebody.
Yeah.
The props could tell its own story. And even when I'm watching other reels of other people and I'm like, oh, they have a stack of books. And I'm like, ooh, what are they reading? And I'm like looking through, zooming in, trying to see what the book is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's that kind of person. Or like the quote on their coffee mug, or
Yeah. And I tell them
like
too,
all the
like bring coffee mugs, whatever you have branded, bring it. Even if it's just wording that has to do with your vibe. Like for mine, like good vibes, something that says good vibes would be great, because that's what I give all the time.
to do some branding stuff.
Yes, that it really helps to just kind of have it close, because these are visual representations of who you are. If people can't hear you and you're just doing like B-roll, branding B-roll, then you need to figure out ways to showcase it visually. So those little things, the little props really help a lot to showcase that visually. Yeah. And even like the fun props, like a crown or a fun fan or something like that. Like it says a lot of your personality.
Also, because I've worked with you for brand, well, I've worked with Dahlia various ways. So
Yeah.
I also worked with her on just getting branding content. And I did it before I even knew what the hell I needed it for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just hit on all the brand pillars that I wanted, which was helpful because you guided me with that. I brought all these props. I brought human design books, astrology books, but I knew those need to be in their own little separate thing. So anyways, long story short, I had like all of this content that we created together, and it came out great. And then I wanted to also rebrand my website. So then when it came time to do that, my dear friend Leslie, who created my website, I was like, here's a whole inventory of video. Have fun with it. So she put it wherever she felt like it was needed on the website. And now I look at my website and I'm like, oh, I love it, because
Yay!
the videos go along with the page. It just adds more of that flavor.
It's so
the
nice,
interaction and it looks like, okay, professional, right? Because
Yeah.
I dressed up the way that I wanted to show up. I brought all my little props. And again, I didn't even know what I wanted it for. I just knew I was going to eventually use it for something to tell the story.
Yeah.
So it's now telling the story on my website.
And it's so nice to just have a video library ready.
Yeah, it's
to just
super-
give it away. Yeah,
and
take
it's
care
like
of that.
honestly timeless, because I don't think I'm gonna change anything anytime soon. So everything's gonna last for a couple years. The investment kind of does go in a long way. And then not only that, when I'm in different cohorts and pitching my business to companies or things like that, I'm like, oh, here, you're a corporate private company. Oh, here, go check out this website. Here's my link. Hit this tab. They can see all of the past workshops and events that I've done and got video from it.
Yeah.
So then they can see, oh, they're not just pictures. There is a crowd full of women in there. Or,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
she does do breath work. Or, oh, she does do sound healing. Or she does read charts. So it just gives you more credibility. Obviously, you still need branding pictures, and head up Karina for that. Check out podcast number 26. But you do need the video too. And now more we need video of us that's authentic, true. That's not
Exactly.
AI. That's not a fake of you doing something fake. It's real content.
See, a visionary woman knows that. A woman that is just has a business and is trying just to make money with their business, which that's if
true.
that's you, that's fine.
Right.
But that's not my ideal client.
Yeah.
Because that person could be like, I have the photos. That's okay. That's enough.
Oh, I love that you talked about the ideal client because that's really important for you.
Yeah.
I've learned my ideal client and I know what I don't want to work with because I've worked with them before. So like, okay, let me start trimming down what lights me up. What is the kind of person that I want to work with? And that's supportive for me, but it's also supportive for them. So for you, it's not like you're going to, or I'm sure at some point you made a decision to be like, okay, this is my threshold. It's like the clients that really activate me, get me excited. So give me like 3 examples of your ideal client.
Yeah, basically, like I said, visionary women entrepreneurs that are making an impact or want to make an impact. They are building movements. They are looking farther than just making money. It's a huge legacy that's coming with it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these women tend to be coaches or leaders in some kind of way because they understand that the impact that comes with their teachings because they see it very often, right? So I love working with coaches because of that.
Yeah.
But I'm open to any visionary business women, any visionary women entrepreneur, because even if you're not where you want to be yet, but you have the vision and there's a mission in your heart also that you're like trying to help and make an impact and build your legacy, I'm willing to work with you because I want to amplify that.
Yeah.
I want to help you grow so you are getting to where you need to be. And just on top of the content creation, just my energy alone helps a lot with that too. And that's the feedback that I've gotten throughout like doing this for over 3 years now. That yes, it's great. I do all this content creation. I make it easy for them. Now you have the library of video available to you. I bring out your personality and all of this. But the main thing that I get over and over again is you inspire me to create content. You made me feel more confident on camera. You made me feel like it's possible. Like what I'm trying to do, it's possible. People actually want to hear me. All of those things are mindset if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yes, I give you specific things, right? But a lot of the transformation that I bring has to do with my energy. And that's why people pick me over any other content creator because that's what it's me. My energy is mine. Nobody else has the same kind of energy. And that's why I focus on showcasing.
But you're also talk the talk. Right now, you are super confident in what your offers are, like as what the offering that you give, but you're also confident in your energy. I know I can light you up. I know I can like fire under your ass and get this vision that you have off the ground and running so it can be a thing where you're going to create legacy.
As a Virgo, I'm like very analytical, right? We're very analytical. So
you caught me in my next transition.
Because before I used to just focus on all the benefits and all the tangible things of like, they need to see what they get, all the things. They need to see all that value that they get. But then I realized after doing this over and over again and asking for feedback, and that's so important to ask your clients, hey, what was it that really made this an amazing experience? Or like, how do you feel about it? I always try to ask for feedback because you see it in there. The words that your clients use when they give you feedback, those are the words you need to use in your own marketing. And I kept hearing those same words. And I was like, I need to start talking about it then. Yeah. If everybody's loving my energy, why am I not talking about it?
That's smart.
That's what's bringing people in. That needs to be highlighted. And then also, actually, yesterday I was talking to my husband about this because my husband and I are very opposite in personalities, which keeps it interesting. But he was talking about how talking about himself feels like bragging. And I was like, wait, in any way? Tell me a sentence that sounds like bragging to you. And he was like, I don't even know how to say it myself. But when I hear some people that are like, oh my God, I'm beautiful and I do this and I do that, I think that's bragging. I'm like, in that case, I'm a huge bragger.
Just married one.
Yeah. It was so hard for him to find something good to brag about.
I think maybe it's confusion over cockiness.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the way that he was explaining, I think it seems that way.
Yeah, like if you talk about yourself in such a positive way, that it comes off cocky. But I think there's
Yeah.
a huge difference because you can be humble
Yeah.
and be
And
very
confident.
confident. You can also be cocky
Yeah.
and
that's true.
confident. Which one do you want to be?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's a way to also embrace it. Embrace the confidence and not sound cocky. It's more about you owning your presence.
And in America, because it's the only country I've ever lived in, I'm assuming it, from my perspective, I should say, it's like that's all we've been taught, though, is to be cocky. The women, more so women, are the ones who are starting to balance out that humbleness, because before we didn't have a voice, where now we're starting to have a voice, and now we're like, yeah, no, that's not cute. What Jerry did is not cute, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be confident, but I'm going to not tone it down a notch, but I'm going to make it to where it's heart-led versus like power.
Okay.
It's impact, not power. You know,
Yeah.
there was a question that was asked on the radio today, and it was like, if you can have money or power, which one would you want? And they debated over it. And the long story was like, have power, because power gives you influence and power gives you that change that you can make, versus money. Yeah, you can still have power with money. You can still have influence, but it could also just go away.
Yeah.
And you don't have the charisma that power gives you, right? But I do want to transition to one last little mini topic, is you being a Virgo and you being a manifesting generator Virgo.
Yeah. Or 6.
Yes. Oh, the 4-6. Okay. And it's interesting that you said the 6, because I was talking with one of my human design certification students, and she got asked a quiz question wrong. And she's like, Arlene, I don't understand why I got this one wrong. And it was like the 6 profile line, she should have hit visionary. And I think I don't remember what other one that she picked that got wrong. But I was like, the visionaries, because the 6 is the role model, and at the end of their life, they want to have a vision. They're the visionaries of all of the profile numbers. So that's the 6. So when you were like visionary, I was like, damn, there's that 6 line talk. But going back to you being a Virgo, and a part of the other half of, or maybe a quarter of your system, or maybe it's more now, I don't know, you can tell me, but is you're launching something where you're going to help others create content, but have the strategy. And because obviously, like, for example, I can have all these videos, but I'm like, okay, but what do I do with them? What's strategy behind them? Like, how can I post them? Which it's like, I can easily get in my head and overanalyze, and then analysis paralysis. So you being a Virgo, quality traits are very good at editing, very good at creating structure and systems.
Oh yeah, I love
So that you can get things done faster without that analysis paralysis. Virgos do have that. But it's when it's in its healthy alignment, it really is strategic. It fine tunes everything. And that's why most Virgos are really good at editing, because they'll sit there and pay attention to every word and make sure it's perfect, and the lighting and this and that. It's like they don't just see, me talking with the microphone. They see the plant. They see the paper here. They see all the things.
of it.
And you see all that. And you do that when you're doing the content. But now teaching people how to be strategic about it. So tell me how your Virgo helps you with that. And are you going to grow that part anymore?
Yeah, definitely helps me to be more efficient. I was just telling you earlier before this that how I'm always focused on growth and how to make things better and easier and more efficient. Constantly, everything in my life, I'm like thinking, okay, how can I make it easier? How can it take less time? How can it take less energy so I can focus my energy on all the parts that I love focusing my energy on, right? So I'm always thinking about that. And I do that with content creation too. So I came up with my own system, my signature system, on how to create this content consistently, because the main thing is that it needs to be consistent. That's how you attract clients with your content, by being consistent. So the consistency is the hardest part, because we tend to see content as recognition, or if we don't have enough likes or enough comments, it's like, it flopped. Even if you have 200 views or 100 views, there's still 100 people, 200 people that saw this. So we just have to see it more as this is a process, not a thing that you have a specific, after a month of posting, then I'm going to get all these clients. No, because they just saw you not even for a full month. The people that are watching your content, they're not watching all your reels. They're not watching you every single time you post. So they're going to need more than a month to get used to hearing who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
They need to hear this repetitively, constantly. over and over again until they figure out, oh, whenever I need video content, Dahlia is my person because she's a content fairy, because she showcases people in a great way. Oh, I've seen all her stories. I've seen all her reels. Because it's over time. It just takes a long time to do it. And building all the systems for this, that's my Virgo side, helps it make it more sustainable, because it can take a lot of time if you don't have the right tools, if you don't have the right systems. For example, batching. That's how a lot of creators do it, keep up with their content, is they set up one day where they batch everything for the month. And I do that with my social content day, which I do it quarterly, right? I host this day where I set up a studio with a bunch of different curated content stations. So then my visionary women entrepreneurs can come in and then they have a space to record a bunch of content for the whole quarter. And I even give them a guide. You fill out a questionnaire and I make a specific content plan with 10 reels that you can record there at the studio. So you have everything you need, all the tools, all the systems. You just come in and record. This is my own system that I created for in person, right? But I also have a bunch of different steps in the system. That's just one step. Batching is just one step.
Do you have a name for the system?
Yeah, it's my content freedom system. Okay. Yeah, it's part of my mastermind that I'm launching pretty soon. It's going to be a group coaching mastermind for 3 months where we go over all of the steps for having your own content creation system. And what I do is usually I will align it to your own lifestyle. So because everybody has different timings, right? Not everybody has the same time. And I make it so you save a lot of time with this system because I have tools and specific guidelines for every single step of content creation, like strategy, planning, filming, editing, repurposing, analytics. Analytics is so important and people often not even look at it. And that's what tells you the type of content you should be creating more of.
Yeah.
Because literally the people that you're making the content for, which is your audience, is telling you what they like. So a lot of times people just skip that part and they focus on just one piece of content that's going to go viral and get all of these clients. Plenty of pieces of content go viral and they never get clients. It's just people watching. So you have to be strategic about this.
I guess the reframe too could be, instead of people buying from you, what can they share? You know how you get the little button that you can share content? I like to look at that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, even if I've gotten 100 likes or views or whatever, but if two people shared, then obviously that's going to now open it up to be 300 views, right? Not likes. So it's like looking at it in a way of, is it converting and how is it converting? Is it converting and you're going to get more shares, because the more shares opens up you to new audiences. And I think that's the thing about shares that don't really get a lot of attention, is like you're somebody that one follower is sharing with you or following you, and then they share your story. Now they're sharing you to who knows else, right?
That's true.
And then now that person's following you.
And for that, the content needs to be relatable.
In the storytelling and stuff.
Which needs to be honest, because if your content is not honest, then it's not going to feel relatable. And a lot of that honest content feels too vulnerable for people.
Oh yeah. There's times where I remember there's a few people that I've known that either would like read a book about astrology or human design, and all of a sudden they're like talking about it. I'm like, girl, stop it. You don't even know, you're acting as if they're it's professional or something. And I'm like, just because you like got your chart read, it doesn't mean that like, and that for me would annoy me, because I'm like, here are people actually going pay money and years and put all this stuff into it. And then you're just going to come in with this viral content. And now you have, what is that called? Credibility, right? Yeah. And then later on, that's not sustainable, because maybe they do get those clients. And then now guess what? I don't see those people talking about human design anymore. So it's like, use content like to not trick people to, like I've seen a lot of that.
And then you also have to have your systems in place for when people are watching your content. Okay. Because now,
that's very
people
true.
Are watching your content. Is your bio all set up for converting them into a potential client? Do you have places in there do you have the links that they can go to? Do you have your highlights updated? Do you have your first 3 posts pinned that talk about you and who you are and what you do?
There's all this homework. Okay, you guys, get out.
Because all of that is important. Sometimes we're like chasing this reach, right? But what if the reach happens and you go viral? Can you actually convert these people?
Yeah.
That's important too. So
yeah, unless you're an influencer and you're like at your content sponsored or something,
Yeah.
then, but otherwise, I don't know. Is there really any point to go viral anymore? I don't know. I haven't yet, so who am I to tell? But we need to wrap this episode up.
because we'll talk forever.
Yeah, we can talk forever. You got two chatty Virgos and then our Pisces little queen over here, Valerie. But yeah, I think you're a person that I think is needed for the shift that we're all going toward, especially with all these things coming up with AI and like all the great things that you can do with it. But it can't recreate, for example, a retreat.
Yeah.
It can't recreate whatever it is that your business is trying to bring to the table.
The emotions. It
Yeah,
can't
and
recreate the emotions.
and just the testimonial, like
Yeah.
all the things, right? Get your cameras out and hire Dahlia.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Dahlia for Reels that's my go-to because I post everything in there. All my links are in there. And I love for people to come in there first because they get to know me a little more. I post on my stories about my life, how the things that I look forward to, all the mindset upgrades that I constantly do with myself, affirmations I'm trying to remind myself, all of it. It's all in there. And you get to know me more as a person instead of just reading something. For me, video is so important because it's the way that you can connect with someone at a deeper level without them being right in front of you in real life.
Yeah.
It's the closest way to that deep connection. And it's so much different than just text or even just a photo. There are a lot of photographers that are great at their photos, not knocking photos down, but video has your voice and it has your the things that you do with your hands and your face, and we see your energy more clearly. So it's so important to have it because it's a different way to express yourself and for people to reach you because they need you. They need to see you. Also, your friends who are trying to lift you up and market you to other people need for you to be creating content because that way they can share you.
Yeah.
Because it's you can really, oh my god, so many people are like, oh, can you share this about me? And I'm like, but you don't have video. Like, how am I gonna explain to people what is it? I actually had this happen to me in Peru recently when I go every February, and I was looking for someone that does either sound bath or some kind of holistic ceremony. And I found this girl who does this ceremonies she uses a little bit of, family constellations for it.
Nice.
But it also had manifestation and meditation in it. And I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. And she made a few carousels and she posted about it. For someone like me that's already warmed up to the idea, that was pretty easy for me to sign up.
Yeah.
Now, when I was trying to convince friends over there that are not as sold on the idea of, because this is something weird, right?
Woo-woo.
Yes. So I was struggling to try and convey what this was about because there was no video. She didn't have any video showcasing what it was. So it was really hard to tell it to my friends, like to send something. And I will send a carousel and they will be like, yeah, but like, how is it? What is it specifically? They wouldn't know. They wanted to see it. So I had to use all my skills of storytelling to just explain it in a way that also I hadn't been through the experience, but I just kind of knew what she was talking about. And I kept thinking, if I worked with this girl and made the video for her, it will be so easy for people to just share this and show other people, hey, this is it. This is what we'll be doing.
Yeah.
How it's so much easier to sign up for something when you see what's happening and the vibe of what's going on, right? Instead of just reading words. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that every business owner needs to start thinking about. And as you can see, she's obviously passionate about it, obviously has your own system, your own flow, your own thing. And then I'm a person who's worked with her before on multiple things. So I definitely know that, you know your craft and you're like, it's already tuned. When do you think you're going to do your next? What is the summer? What is fall looking like for you? Plug in anything, any events or anything like that?
So I have my social content day coming up. Like I said, it's a really fun day for community and creating content with all the the tools that I get ready for you. So you just show up looking your best and create a bunch of content that day that's going to serve you for the whole quarter. And then also I'm going to be launching my content mastermind. So that's another thing to look forward to, because on that one, I'll be helping you more coaching wise. So kind of teaching you, if you're more of a person that likes to DIY, then you are more for the content mastermind, because that's where I teach you everything, and then we adapt it to your lifestyle. Now, if you're more of a person I don't want to learn any of that, I just want someone to come and do it for me, then that's where we work one-on-one on VIP content sessions, where I get all your branding video done in one day. And then we also do talking reels, so you can have them pinned on the top of your profile. We do your introduction, your stories, and your services. And then also, you could also come to social content date, and that's in person. And you get to, that's in between me doing it for you and you doing it yourself. Because I do all the tools and everything set up for you, but you still have to show up and you still have to record and all of that. It's fun in between.
Okay.
And I'm able to help both ways. And the other thing is I help documenting events and retreats as well, to showcase the vibe, the energy of the event, the experience, so then people can see themselves coming to that experience.
Which is very important for all you spiritual girlies. Okay, so that is an amazing experience that you've been able to contribute to our realm. And if you want to follow Dalia, what is your Instagram handle again?
Dalia for Reels, no H on my name because I'm Peruvian. We don't use H's. DALIAFOR Reels, like Instagram Reels, REELS. And send me a DM. I love connecting. I love talking to people. Just say, hey, Dalia, I heard you on the podcast and I wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. I'll probably send you a voice note and welcome you. Look at your content real quick and be like, I love this about you.
That's nice. She'll give you a little content
on
your profile.
I'll give you a compliment for sure, and like a quick audit just by you DMing me like, hey, what do you think about my content?
Yeah, so go follow her on Instagram. And then she also does share in her stories some little tips and tricks. And also your newsletter. You send a newsletter out once or twice a month?
Yeah, once a month, sometimes twice a month, depending on how I'm feeling.
And there's little tips in there too, because we can take all we can get, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. And it was great to connect with you.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you.
All right, bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Espiritu Coffee Chats.
We hope you enjoyed our conversation and found a little inspiration to take with you.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more.
Until next time, keep the spirit alive and the coffee brewing. Cheers! Ow, ow, ow.